Howdy. And today we're going to discuss something that I've noticed happening in the gaming industry. And that being extraction shooters. Now, if you're a fan like me, you just sighed, because you know where this is going. And that is AAA games trying to take on the extraction shooter genre. And today, we're going to talk about the genre and why big companies are making extraction shooters and why they're failing. And at the end, we'll talk a little bit about the gold standard of the genre, and finally, a game that broke the mold, and possibly is the ideal form for AAA games. Now with that all being said, I hope you enjoy the video. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about when I say AAA is struggling to make extraction shooters. Well, for those who live under a rock, the AAA game market has been flooded recently with tons of games under the extraction shooter genre. Some lasting a year at most, and others not even making it out of the oven. But first, you might be asking, what's an extraction shooter? Thanks for asking. In short, as for the long answer, so, you want to learn what an extraction shooter is? Well, let's get started. First, you want a map. Make it big, make it noisy, add a few details to make it nice. Then, sprinkle in a little bit of NPCs, get some factions going, add some challenge, hell, make them even fight each other. Then sprinkle in some loot. Make sure to make some rare stuff too, make it hard to find, valuable, important, maybe even add some crafting elements with those items. Then of course finally, add some bosses. Really get creative. Make them from easy to pain in the ass. And then for the most important part, just add a pinch of load times. Putting it all together. Really make sure to mush in the torment and wait time. All that's left is you simply pour yourself a nice cup. So, you can put all that time to make a good game, something that people would enjoy. Or, what you could do is... Is it possible for me to get the milkshake, the McDonald's Land milkshake, or whatever that is?
Yeah, you want the McDonald's Land shake?
Yeah.
And what size?
I'll just get that in a medium. Which brings me to our first game mode.
Milkshake. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up!
Don't bully me, Daniel!
Yes. DMZ. The most game mode of all time. This one wasn't all that bad. It's a good introduction to the genre. I mean, it has everything it needs to be an extraction shooter, but not really. What do I mean? Well, you see, Tarkov has multiple merchants, each with their own personalities and quirks. DMZ has a box.
What's in the box?
Tarkov has an intricate and annoying looting system. DMZ has boxes.
What's in the fucking box?
Tarkov has a story-rich endgame zone in the form of labs. DMZ has a big box. You see, the point I'm trying to make is almost everything in DMZ is a copy of Tarkov. And in some cases it works, while in others not so much. To the game mode's credit, where it's unique, it works well. For example, The larger maps complement Modern Warfare 2's fast-paced movement system, even if other mechanics don't. But with the movement being so fast, the combat is even faster, breaking up any stalemates, which is a problem in the genre. Another aspect I like, sorta, is that it has teams. You see, in Tarkov, the team system works like this. Get together, spawn in, and promise not to perform some blue on blue. But in DMZ, you just queue in and meet the team.
Yo, what's up?
But there's an added-on bonus. You see, you start with 3 people but can have a max of 5 in your group. And this is because of another mechanic. You can recruit people from other parties into your team, which turned an FPS game into a diplomatic simulator.
I'll make that deal. How about you, you bitch? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
Now, with this game mode being baby's first Tarkov, with some added features, the mode lasted a while with some updates and kept the player base interested and active. That is until one day. Yes, dark times have fallen onto us. As for the remaining time of Modern Warfare 2, they made up to 28 pay-to-win skins for DMZ, each ranging from $12 to $20. And while some perks were useless, others were... And yeah, that was about it. They had some cool stuff like disguises and NPC faction wars, but once they announced Modern Warfare 3 being a full game and not a DLC, they also announced they wouldn't continue making updates for DMZ. And thus, where DMZ is at now. Just tryhards and the occasional noob. Oh, and because why not, here's a tier list. Solid B. Because my friends and I had some fun. Next segment. Alright, to start, F tier. Okay, fine, I'll review it. Alright, so this one I played twice. I needed footage, okay?
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Okay. But it was enough. Because all that happened is I spawned in, killed a guy, and because it was so dark, I ended up getting shot at that died. Oh, I put a note here. Skill issue. Oh, fuck off. Look, what is there really to be said about Hazard Zone? It's a sad excuse for an extraction shooter. I mean, this game came out before Modern Warfare 2, and yet it feels like a cheap copy of an already cheap copy. I mean, the only objective is to find these data caches, grab them, then extract. And because they just use the maps for multiplayer, there isn't really much to do since most of the maps are so wide open and have nothing in them. There's no risk, there's no reward. The most intense feeling I got was when I ran up to a tank around a building for a few minutes. Death has no purpose because you just respawn your team. There's no looting, which is practically a core of the genre. And it's a poor excuse for a game mode, and why did I spend $120 on it before it came out? Next segment. Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six. Yeah, I remember that one. Was a good tactical shooter, now a bad competitive shooter. But let's be honest. Six Siege holds most of the internet's crazies.
First game of Operation Deadly Omen. More, Daddy! More!
I have a question for you. Did you know that Rainbow Six Siege had an extraction shooter? No? Well, there's a reason for that. You see, a while ago, Ubisoft made a good game mode event. Called it Outbreak. Had such a good reception, people wanted the game mode to be a permanent addition to the game. Ubisoft's reaction?
No.
So years later, they decided to instead give the players a fully hashed out game. But they kinda shot themselves in the foot.
That guy, everybody! Just graze the stinker.
Unfortunately, no one really heard from the game because bad marketing. Top of that, name kept changing. And when they released gameplay and trailers, they accidentally told all the content creators to release their footage at the same time. confusing things even further, leading to a lukewarm release. As for the game itself, well, it's not bad, but extraction shooter parts are definitely more creative. Not really. The only thing that's even related to the genre is extracting and somewhat consequence for dying, which is just losing access to the operator you went in with. Otherwise, it's a weak game, with an unfortunately weak story, only held by its less than okay characters. Which sucks, cause Ubisoft can make some pretty strong characters, but hasn't since Wildlands.
It's called tactical field care. Stop being such a pussy.
Her extract is 10 minutes out.
Oh, fucking hell. I'll be glad to be rid of this whiny bitch.
But due to all the previous problems and it costing $60 while really being worth $30, and with there being no challenge and really any reward, the player base never grew. The game only got updated for a year before Ubisoft decided to abandon it, with it barely making a mark on the genre as only being a part of this list because of the name and some of its mechanics. D tier. Okay. Because this video is already getting long enough, here are 2 segments shortened down to honorable mentions. For clarification, I never played this game, but I saw this image and I had to mention it. I mean, this thing's a runner-up for the worst Sonic adaptation, and this is its competition. Character skins aside, you might be wondering about the gameplay. Well, this team hero extraction shooter heist game actually has some cool elements. One being the zero-G gunfights, similar to Dead Space and Prey. From the gameplay I've seen, this could allow some really interesting gunfights between players. But unfortunately, because it's just a big empty room, the actual creative use of the system by the player is diminished. Other than that, there really isn't too much, with the players and the AI being bullet sponges, significantly lowering the difficulty compared to other games in the genre. And the HUD is really overpacked. So, D tier. Much like Modern Warfare 3, Zombie's just a repurposed DMZ, so all the notes from DMZ apply here. But no PvP.
I'm just imagining this Skrillex music.
And they actually figured out the inventory system. Unfortunately, your character immediately resets after every game for seemingly no reason, making almost looting pointless. Oh, and Sham Piss is now a part of the lore of Zombies, after getting shot in the head. But blueprints do make the game fun. D tier. So we talked about some of the extraction shooter AAA games, but one problem I kinda haven't mentioned is when making an extraction shooter, they constantly get compared to one game. And that game is
a little irked, or at least like irked adjacent, and then these guys bring in their bad vibes? Bro, I'm straight up not having a good time.
Look, I don't really need to explain Tarkov. As stated, if you played any extraction shooter, you probably have heard of Tarkov. And it's in no doubt because Tarkov essentially made the genre. Heck, it even defines the genre. But one thing that defines Tarkov is its difficulty. Spend 30 minutes making the drippiest kit? Shotgun Scav thinks so too. Want to explore the map for the first time? Random boss encounter. And it's not just difficult, but as Shroud wisely put it,
there's a lot of friction in a game like Tarkov. There's a lot of like complexity and things that might not want you to open up the game ever. So much friction. There's so much friction to play Tarkov. Most people don't even open that game. But that friction is what makes the game so popular to its core audience.
And while there's more to the clip, I want to focus on that friction he talked about, because it really is what makes the game so fun. I mean, the game wants you to give up. You try to reload your mags, you need to do it manually. And while it's not that bad at first, it can become quite cumbersome. And the movement with some of the guns can be so bad it makes it impossible to use. Hell, even looting can be a problem, since if you wait too much, then this is your movement speed. And while it seems super annoying, it is. Tarkov also is a knowledge-based game, where learning the mechanics can help you bypass some of these mechanics. Except for loading mags, no trick for that. Another example of friction is the maps. You see, in Tarkov, one of the first struggles you'll notice are the lack of in-game maps, meaning most of the information you know about the area is what you learn from experience. And you're not just learning the best places to loot, you're also learning loot pools, you're learning scav spawns, scav path, boss spawns, sniper locations, landmines, key locations, and extracts. Which might seem like a lot, but this is just the basics. I mean, I still remember when I just started raiding Ground Zero, because all the other maps scared me. But now I run through every map, blitzing everything I come across. And that's just what's fun about Tarkov. It's not the low lows, but the high highs you reach. And that's the best part. No matter how far you've gone, this game will knock you on your ass. Meaning, you never really lose that thrill, that frustration, that stress of fighting a boss, that feeling when you find the best loot, and the rage when you lose it, and overcoming the odds. This roller coaster of emotion is what big companies hate. They wouldn't make a game that's so difficult and so punishing yet so rewarding, because it scares off the casual players. And that leads to my next point. You see, the real reason why AAA studios can't make a good extraction shooter is because they've been tricked. We all have. The only thing big companies saw when they were making was another shooter genre with extraction mechanics. And while they thought they were making an FPS, in reality, they're making Dark Souls. And would you trust a big company to make a Souls game? Hell, big companies are getting so scared of challenges that some games have combat be an optional thing. Tarkov gets an S tier. So that's it. I guess it's impossible to make a PvPvE game that's more fast-paced. I mean, you can't make this game genre less punishing. You can't make it easy to get into, but hard to master. Right? But what if I told you there's a game that did just that? Hunt is another extraction shooter, actually came out around the same time as Tarkov, while it was in open alpha. And while Tarkov goes for a more oppressive, intense atmosphere, Hunt takes on a more dreary and lax approach. Taking on the settings of the 1890s occult western, Hunt has one primary objective: collect the bounty. No need for food, and with scavenging being low priority, Hunt has you and your team pitted against other hunters to track and kill the bounty, a boss that has its own weaknesses and strength. Once the boss is dead, you collect the bounty and extract. A fairly simple gameplay loop, but one that hides a challenge, because you see, Hunt is PvP focused, and that means they make it nearly impossible to avoid. Because Crytek's great sound design, almost every action has a loud sound attached to it. Kill an NPC, they scream. Walk, there's a loud stick. Hey look, dogs.
Bye, puppies.
Heck, even when you die, everyone hears it. But this is for an obvious reason. It's to encourage PvP. With there only being 2 objectives on the map, you almost have no choice but to fight other players. Other games like DMZ have attempted to copy this, but having a simple main objective to capture falls flat by the size of the map or there being other things to do. But Hunt, while simple, remains far more complex when it comes to skill. And while Hunt isn't as punishing as, say, Tarkov, when it comes to dying at least, there isn't enough to discourage you from going again. And that's what I love about Hunt. It's simple yet difficult, easy to get to, hard to master. It's exactly what AAAs want. Almost. Just needs more microtransaction and collaborations. Hunt, A tier. So that's it. Big companies that attempted making extraction shooters learned their lessons and never attempted one again.
What happened, Gandalf?
Oh, I'm sorry, Frodo. I was delayed.
God. As usual, starting's the hard part. I mean, with the plagiarism, bad character design, and let's face it, lackluster gameplay trailer, and with most of the Reddit getting more and more depressing to look at, and normal public perception not faring any better, honestly it's hard to even write about. Because I'm just waiting for something big like a delay or another controversy.
But wait! There's more!
But until then, I guess we'll be waiting on whether this game will be dead on arrival, or maybe to everybody's surprise, might break the mold. But unfortunately for you, and fortunately for me, that's a video for another day. So that's all. There's more I'd like to say on the topic about individual games in the genre, but unfortunately I can't fit them in, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's enough interest, or maybe, I get a few questions, maybe I might make a follow-up or a Q&A. We'll see. Either way, I'm ranting. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I feel like I can make something out of this, so be the first to witness it. And other than that, till next time, good morning, good evening, and good night.